Hey, Audrey, Paul here. This is me. I'm just going to show you some things about the house because I'd rather just not type it out. This is the kitchen. There's the fridge. There's the freezer. Ice maker does not work in the freezer, so you have to go buy ice. Should have some ice here for you, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. Here's the stove. As you see right now, it has the time on there, but sometimes it makes a beeping noise, and it shows PF for power fail. I don't know why. It's fine. It'll scare the cats, but don't let it scare you. Let's see. This is where the cats all eat. Here's a little cat. More about her in a minute. That's her bed and her bowl. Maurice is on the nosh on the right, and Monkey Bat is on the left for Snarf. Let's see, there's something else I need to tell you about the kitchen I can think of right now. Have anything you want in the fridge and freezer if you want, and in the pantries. It's like there's something else, but I'll think of it later. Going this way to the living room. Here's all the cat food. All the food on the left is for Monkey Bat and Little Cat because they will eat any kind of food, whereas the flaked shrimp and fish here is just for Maurice because that's the only cat food he eats for some reason. I don't know why. Even though he'll eat people food. So he's very strange, as many cats are. So I'm going to leave a note here to tell you what to do. But basically, they eat like 4 times a day. I feed them when I get up in the morning, depending on whatever time that is. Then we feed them again during our lunchtime, which is usually about 2 o'clock. And then we feed them again when we have a snack about 8 o'clock or dinner at 8 o'clock. And then before we go to bed. But usually all of them get like 2 cans of food a day. So however you want to space that out is fine. You don't have to feed them 4 times a day. I'm sure they'll talk to you about that if you don't. Let's see, anything else I need to tell you about this room? Not so much, but it just reminded me. Over here is some dry food. So if they're not eating, or if you want to coax them to eat or whatever, you can always give them some dry food. They love the dry food, but we try not to give them too much of it. Because it just makes them very sluggish and they always overeat, but it's there if you need it. Living room, this light over here is controlled by this light switch. This is the outdoor light. Just leave that on because it leaves a light on the porch for whatever reason as a deterrent. The TV in this room is behind that armoire there. There's the other remotes. Should be able to figure it out, but if you have any problems, you can let us know. Let's see, there's the cat condo that only Maurice goes on, and he doesn't go on that much. This router here is for the internet and for the TVs. So if they ever go out, you can always contact Xfinity. That's who we work with, or you can contact me. Or usually what they just tell you to do, as you probably already know, is unplug it for about half a minute, then plug it back in and see if that reboots everything. See if there's anything else I'm missing here that I need to tell you. Okay, going in this room. This is, just enjoy the lobby lamps here if you want. This is the room where I do my work and compute, etc. So another TV here. More remotes for that. This window here, I think some of the windows open in this house, but we honestly really rarely do that because we don't like to tempt the cats, and sometimes they're hard to open. Some of them are painted shut, so we just usually use the air conditioning. So I think these two will open up a little bit, so if you really would like to have some fresh air, you can do that. We always keep the blinds up like this because, as you can see, we have a jungle of a backyard, so nobody can see in here anyway, so we just leave it up like that, and it's not a problem. Let's see, we'll go downstairs before it's all over with. I think that's kind of all I need to tell you about here. If you want me to leave the computer on for you, just let me know and I will. You might be probably bringing your own, I'm assuming. Okay, moving this way. Bathroom, the window opens that way. Not much to tell you about the bathroom, honestly. It's just a bathroom. There's we have really good water pressures. If it feels like it's getting a little backed up in the tub, there's some Drano underneath here that you can use. Just pour half a bottle in there and it should be fine for a few more weeks. All right, this is the bedroom that you'll be in. This is our bedroom, and you'll be sleeping in here. This is a good time to watch this video because that's Maurice right there. And I'm going to show you where Monkey Bed is right now too, and then little cat. Here's Karen. Say hey.
Hey.
I don't want you to think that there was a spook right here. This is the closet you're going to be using. It's my closet. I've got to get the clothes out of here and our bags and things like that. So I'll clear that out and you'll have all that. And here's the dresser that you'll be using if you want to do that. This is Karen, so she'll have her stuff in there. We have many beautiful pieces of artwork in this house, at least I think so, but none of our furniture is beautiful. It's all pretty old. Not much else to tell you about here. This is Karen's room. This is where Monkey Bat likes to sleep a lot during the day. We typically just call him Monkey, by the way. There's her computer. There's a printer if you need it. You'd have to probably figure out how to do the whole wireless thing. I don't really know. I think that's mostly things I have to tell you about up here. I'll just email you other stuff. I just didn't want to have to write all this out because it takes a lot of time. There's where little cat is right now. She's in this room beside the VCR or the VCR, besides the cable box. It's really kind of weird because for the first 2.5 years that she's been with us, she only slept in the kitchen in this box here. But for some reason, she has found the space that she really likes and feels safe here. We'll go downstairs and I'll tell you a little bit more about the cats in a second. This is our spiral staircase that you access to go downstairs. Here is where the litter is. This area is not exceptionally clean right now, but it'll be cleaner when you get here. Basically, this is what I use to scoop the litter. Just do it every day or every other day. That'll be a trash can, which obviously will be empty by the time you get here. And then new litter if you need it. I'm going to change the litter the day before you come, so you shouldn't really have to change it for a couple weeks, really. However you want to do it, your litter is fine. The one on the right here, there's a light up here too, by the way. The one on the right is little cat's litter. The one on the back is Maurice, and we have that thing back there because Maurice, for some reason, pees standing up sometimes. So I have to put a little bit of padding on there. And then this is Monkey Bat's litter here. That's typically the way it works. Here are some more pads here from Maurice and some tape if you want to do that. This is the laundry room. The dryer has just been with us about 3 days because it died a few days last week. So thankfully, we luckily got another one really quickly. So I don't know much about the washer yet, but so far it seems to be working fine. Let's see. Anything else around here? Oh, there's a handheld vacuum right here if you need that for anything. The only other thing to really show you besides that there's a mess down here, but there always is. Feel free to play some albums if you want. Down here is where the back door is and the sump pump. I don't think you're going to have to worry about the sump pump at all. The sump pump just kind of fills up with water once it's rained a lot, and usually once it's rained a lot over a couple of days. So you just need to check it, make sure that this contraption is working. If you've never had a sump pump before, the way it works is it fills up with water, and once it fills up with water, this black float comes up. Did you hear that? It activates, and then the suction starts, and the water is then pushed out through this little opening right there. So as long as it's working, you don't have to do anything. Just make sure it's working. Sometimes you can activate it by picking up that float. I usually use like a tool, and if it makes you feel better, just get the water out of here before it gets too full. But hopefully you're not gonna have to worry about that at all. I think that's mostly all things. Oh, there's a treadmill if you want one, if you're into that kind of thing. And for the most part, I think that's, we'll go outside briefly. Watch your head if you're a tall person and don't hit it in the stairwell there. So going outside, you'll be parking right here. I'll take a farther, longer shot so you can see it. So there's the carport right there. I made a little place here. 1 or 2 cars is going to be here. We got a lot of stuff that's going out and recycling this week, so don't mind all this trash. It'll look better when you come here. This is the trash can, the green one. The blue one is recycling. The trash can we have in the kitchen is one side's recycling and one side is trash, but you can do whatever you want to. If you're not into recycling, that's fine. These need to go out to the curb up there on Tuesdays, or at least Monday nights, because they come and get it Tuesday. Other than that, you'll be right here parked safely under the cover here. If it rains a whole lot, this area right here, it becomes a standing water issue, but that should not affect you because it never gets so far back as to where our van is parked. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. Other than that, I think that's all I really got to tell you. Here's the mailbox. We'll have a box there for you to collect the mail. And here's going up our street. The Shamley Tucker Road. Big Kroger's down that way, about 3 miles. And there's another Kroger in the other video I showed you. Down this way is the end of the street. Karen's dad's last house down there to the right. And then there's our neighbors there. They just had a baby. Chris and Tara. They're very nice. We'll leave you their number. Don't worry about Karen's dad or her sister and cousin who are coming. They're not going to bother you. They're not going to come check on you. They're not even going to act like you exist, so you don't have to worry about them. If you need them, though, they're there for you, okay? So I guess that's kind of it. I'm sure I left out something. I'll just email it to you. But thanks for coming here. Let us know if you have any issues. Little cat is the only cat that usually tries to get out. So just make sure that you have your foot in the way, as you said, or a bag. And usually she's here, but she's found her new place to lay, so sometimes she goes there. The dynamic between these two is Maurice and Monkey Bat are litter mates, so they're brothers, even though they don't look the same, and they must always usually get along, but they like to wrestle each other in the early morning just because they're hungry and they want to get me out of bed, and it works. None of the 3 of them all get along neither one of them, those two and Little Cat really get along. Little Cat is kind of on her own little island here, and you kind of have to be careful with her. She's a very sweet cat in some ways. She'll let you pick her up. She likes to be petted, but always to a point. So sometimes you'll see if you pet her, she might hiss, and sometimes she might strike out at you and act like she's going to bite you, but she really doesn't do any of those things. And then she and Maurice sometimes will get after each other a little bit, and she's scared of Monkey Bat, so she'll hiss at him a lot. But otherwise, I mean, I think if you just kind of talk to her more than like try to touch her all the time, you two will get along just fine until she gets to know who you are. That's pretty much all I can think of right now. So sorry the video is so long, and we're very thankful that you're going to come here. I believe all the contact information about where to find us and all that kind of stuff, and I'm sure we'll talk to you on WhatsApp. Thanks, Audrey. Bye.